The world is changing at breakneck speed, and so much of that change is happening at the grassroots level. To give one example, Black Lives Matter. By most accounts, this is the largest social movement in the history of the United States. And so much of this change is being led by students and young people. There is a very old saying in history that history is written by the victors. This is only partly true. Power is not only a question of who gets to write the story of a particular event or person or movement, but also who gets to decide what aspects of that movement or that person's life or that event deserve to be preserved. This is why college students and activists need to designate historians inside their group to help document the history of their movement. If something is not preserved, an oral history testimony, a photograph, a recording, then in 50 years' time, or 100 years or 200 years, people may not even know that your movement existed. Or if they did, to be able to challenge oversimplified or distorted narratives about your movement that are being written by somebody else. No one is saying that your protests are going to fail or that your activism is not going to achieve your desired objectives. But you should also know that eventually someone is going to write the history of your activities. Someone is going to interpret what you are doing. Doesn't it make sense that you should be involved in that? That someone from your community, your movement, should be among those who are documenting your movement, your goals, your methods, what worked, what didn't, what happened. By dedicating just a little bit of your energy in turning the camera back on yourself, you will be producing a record that will benefit generations to come. Because if you haven't already, you should definitely dive into the archival papers of activists and movement leaders of generations past. You are going to find playbooks and strategies there, ones that go far beyond slogans or chants or manifestos and get down into the nitty-gritty of how an organization managed itself, how it dealt with internal dissent, how it figured out its strategy, all of this sort of mundane but essential work that every activist community knows really well. And in the same way, future activists, future movements will benefit from being able to understand in real time with real specificity how you are doing what you're doing now. So this is my commitment to you. The first 50 people to follow the link below and tell me a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your movement, I will do everything in my power to put you in direct contact with a relevant librarian or archivist or community historian, someone who can help you and your organization document their own activities safely and confidentially, but in a way that will ensure that future generations, future activists, future community organizers will be able to benefit from your experience. And future students and historians will be able to faithfully reconstruct what it is that you are engaged with right now.